All right, staying with the story, Portfolio Committee on Justice and Constitutional Development has expressed concern over the arrest of a judge on corruption charges. Let's discuss this with the committee chairperson, Xola Nqola. Mr. Nqola, thank you so much for your time and for joining us this evening. How does the committee view this recent arrest of Judge Phahlane in the context of maintaining judicial integrity as well as public confidence in the judiciary?
It's actually so disappointing to learn that judicial officers can be accused and to an extent of being arrested and be out on bail on such kind of serious criminal allegations, because it is our understanding that judicial officers should sustain a high moral ground because they best know and they've got an obligation to interpret and apply the law on behalf of the people of South Africa. These allegations, we take them with serious concern because they will paint the judiciary entirely as a rotten arm of the state. But we're calling upon the law to take its own course. Fortunately, we're in a constitutional democracy that actually accords everyone the right to be equal before the law. So whether you're a judge, you're a priest, you're a parliamentarian, you are whatever, you must subject yourself to account before competent courts of South Africa so that you prove yourself if you are innocent or you are killed.
You speak about the perception that this creates, and you also sit on the Parliamentary Ad Hoc Committee that's probing infiltration in the criminal justice system. And we heard on the 6th of July when Newzroom Afrika was making that address about how some within the judiciary have been captured. So in your opinion, what steps do you think then need to be taken for the judicial system to take in order to restore public trust following such a high arrest?
Look, what General Nqola raised on the 6th of July is actually different from the allegations leveled to Judge Phahlane. Remember, General Nqola spoke entirely about a criminal syndicate that had captured some in the judiciary, which this one is different. It's merits. But I think part of what is important is that the image that was painted on the 6th of July, actually, in the eyes of the public now, what has happened last night and today actually proves that General Nqola may have been right, maybe not accurately about certain merits in a particular case, but may have been right that there are those who will stop at nothing in ensuring that they capture judicial officers so that they receive favors in terms of judicial decisions being handed down in their favor. But I think what is important is that this matter, as much as it is now running to in a court of law, but also we've got the Judicial Conduct Tribunal of the JSC that must also look at the matter to check the merits, to check the available evidence and see how best they can enforce the code of conduct of all judicial officers in South Africa. So we view this matter very serious. It must be taken very serious. The Judicial Services Commission must ensure that this matter is attended so as to preserve the actual image of the entirety of the judiciary as an arm of state. Otherwise, failing which, one society will view as though that judicial officers have a right to do as they please and and be on the wrong side of the law, and nothing happens to them. And when they lose that confidence in the judiciary, it therefore means our people are going to be found having taken the law into their hands and will have a very chaotic and unstable country, unsafe country, which would not want ourselves to find ourselves into that kind of level of chaos in the country. So the sooner we attend to these matters, the better, so that they don't spill out to influence wrongdoing in the entire communities.
And I think that's the principle at play in terms of ensuring that the integrity of the judiciary, and in any instance where you would find that beyond this particular case, there is foul play, and you ensure that the perception that the public would then have when it comes to sitting judges and the kind of judgments that they passed are those that the public can trust. So you did touch on the Judicial Service Commission. What role do you think that they then, particularly in this case, should play in investigating and handling allegations against sitting judges such as Phahlane?
Look, the JSC has got its own subcommittee called the Judicial Conduct Tribunal, the one that is dealing now currently with, or recently with the issue of Judge President Benenge. So it's them who actually are going to preside over the matter. Then Parliament is only sent a report whether to do the impeachment or to not. So it's Parliament that takes the ultimate decision, having received the actual report from the Judicial Conduct Tribunal. So at this stage, it is now at the hands of the JSC to act, look unto the relevant evidence if there is, look unto the seriousness of the matter, compare or make a comparison with the provisions of the Judicial Code of Conduct, then take a decision on how to proceed. Then usually you'll remember the last issue of the then Judge Klopp and Judge Motata. So we'll only receive a report in respect of what the JSC is recommending Parliament to do. Then Parliament is only directed by the Constitution to check that has the or ruled or recommended in accordance to what the law provisions. It's not just a wishy-washy report, but they followed what is expected of them, then Parliament takes a decision. So at this stage, we are giving the JSC, the Chief Justice must actually ensure that these things are done so as to preserve the integrity of the judiciary, failing which we are going to have problems in the near future.
Yeah, I mean, considering South Africa's broader issues, particularly with corruption, how do you think that this incident reflects just on the systemic challenges within the justice system?
Yeah, it actually reflects that there are loose ends. We are not as solid as we thought that we are, such that if you can have those who preside over the judicial system having been fingered in such kind of criminality. So it means that we actually need to up the game in protecting the criminal justice system of the people of South Africa. We'll remember that the Department of Justice would have made an announcement just recently on the review of the Criminal Procedure Act. So I think as these things are happening, we must always rethink on how best, as the legislative and the executive arm, will we be able to preserve what's left of the criminal justice system by ensuring that we strengthen and tighten laws to ensure that we curb and prevent or avoid these kind of occurrences, because they are painting us in a very bad light.